And just be a willing learner. Be a willing listener and wanna learn something new every day, and just keep the mojo going, and keep everything moving forward.
Welcome back to First Down presented by Coach Tools. I'm your host, Justin Tichinell. Please feel free to leave this a 5-star review. It's super helpful for us as we continue to grow the podcast. And also be sure to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Episode 124 featured Evan Berbari, the wide receivers coach at Ashland University, which is a Division II program in Ohio. Prior to Ashland, Berbari spent 5 years coaching high school football, and over the past 2 seasons, he's coached Ashland University's all-time leading receiver. So let's dive right into the content, and I hope you enjoy.
Yeah, I'm originally from Massillon, Ohio. Went to high school at Washington. Went to undergrad at Walsh University in North Canton, Ohio. I didn't play college football, but I got my first coaching opportunity with he was an offense coordinator for us when I was in high school from Bedgery Bardwell at St. Thomas Aquinas in Louisville. Went back to my alma mater. Nate Moore hired me there for 3 years, and then I've been at Ashland ever since. Coach Lee Owens gave me the opportunity, the former coach here at Ashland, to be a graduate assistant, and I've been here ever since.
Awesome. So, still being a relatively young coach, can you talk about how that transition has been going from the high school game right into college?
Yeah, it was actually, I really didn't realize how everyone talks about the speed of the game, and that's the main part of it. That was a difference for me when I first started, but also too, how close I was when I was a GA to, like, there were some kids that were older than me on the team at Ashland, but just the bond that we had with those kids, and I still talk to those guys today. Now they have jobs and stuff like that, but it was the difference of high school kids where it's, set time, they go to school all day, and then you have practice in the afternoon. We're here, you're meeting all day as a staff, throughout the season, and then in the off season, like right now, we're finishing up recruiting, uh, and then get right back into spring football. So it's really 12 months of just football, where you have, in high school, you have kids they're playing basketball, track, other sports like that. So that was a big jump that I really wanted to get into, and really felt myself want to take that challenge on.
And coaching your own position group as the wide receivers coach. So, can you talk about that? And then, at what point in your career did you jump into becoming like a full time position coach?
Yeah, I'll kind of go off the second part first, Justin. I was here 2 years. I got the GA on defense for, I think, the best defensive mind in the game. Uh, Coach Tim Rose. He's coached for over, he just got done 60 years of coaching. With that, he's been all over the map in Division One. And then I got to come over on the offensive side the next year and work with guys like the former coach here at Ashland, Coach Lee Owens, Coach Doug Geiser, who's the current head coach, Coach Tom Stacy, and really learn from what they've done in the past and what they have with that. But going with the high school, I'm sorry, what was that last question? I already forgot the first part.
Talking about what that's been like having your own room
Yeah, I
instead of
got
being an
so
assistant.
when I came on offense, I was the grad assistant, but I was working with the receivers. And Scott Valentine was the full-time receivers coach. He's a longtime high school coach here in the area, currently back at coaching at Ashland High School. I got to work with him, learned a lot from Coach V, helping me out with that. And then he wanted to get back to be a head coach and left. And then Coach Owens gave me the opportunity. So about 3 to 4 years, I've ran meetings and had my own room.
Gotcha. And then just looking on your website, coach. So I saw that you've had a few all league players over the course of those past few years. So can you talk about what are some of the key things that you've learned over your past 5 years that you've helped coach your players up on? And then can you just talk about what that's been like coaching those guys?
Yeah, I've coached many great players here in at the receiver position. Guys like, Garrett Turnbull and Jake McLaughlin, Logan Bolin, Malik Wooldridge. Those guys have all graduated. And then our best guy I've ever coached is Desmond Libertus this past year. And I got a great room coming back. But with those guys, they really set the tone for who we were. And we kind of want to change that culture where everyone says of who we are. And to me as a coach, I'm upfront and honest with them. And I always tell them, be yourself. Be who you are. Everyone's a little bit different. Everyone learns a little bit different ways. Be who you are and go out there and, dominate each, day. Either it's a one-on-one drill in practice, if it's a game, a one-on-one matchup, go in there and do what you need to do to get it done because everyone's different with it.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing I think. As a coach, you have to know how to not only talk to like certain players, like your best guys, but you also have to know how to talk to the kid who might not be playing as much or
Right.
the freshman that's having trouble making that transition. So
Correct.
it's all about like you were kind of saying, making your coaching style and adapting it to whoever you're coaching.
Yeah. Yeah. And I love my room. I love my players I have currently that's still here. But those guys that passed, I still talk to them, daily or weekly. Sometimes talk to them on the phone and just catching up with them, see how, I call them all old now, even though I'm only about 4 or 5 years older than them. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's a great lifestyle. I love it.
Yeah, and it's so funny too, just talking about that. Like I'm 24, I'm 3 years out right now,
Yeah,
and it's like, man, I do feel old, but when you put it into perspective, it's like the 4 years of college football, it goes like that,
I
and you
know.
don't when you're a freshman or even in the midst of it, you're like, "Oh, no, like, it these guys are just old," but it really does, and I think you don't ever have that perspective until you get out of it, and those for any student athletes that are watching, I think just take everything in that you guys get from your coaches because as college coaches, everybody's putting their heart and soul into making you guys better, not only better student athletes, but better players and better people in general. And and I think you just have to be able to learn everything over those 4 or 5 years and be able to know that whatever you learn, you're gonna apply into your career. And for me, being a part of, like, starting my own company and talking with coaches every day, I apply, like, everything that I use today and all the skills that I have, I learned from my college coaches.
Yeah, it's great. It's You hit it right in the head, man. That's good stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, no, really appreciate that, coach. So over your 5 years, what would be the top 2 to 3 things that you've learned and maybe give advice to for somebody who's just getting started?
Yeah, biggest thing is don't take things personal. Don't take it personal. And the second thing I say is, really from listen to other coaches either here or elsewhere in the bigger roles is, be a sponge, learn everything, be a note taker, ask questions, really want to, if you really want to grow in this profession, you really have to, like you talked about, you want to network and really network yourself and really just, I'm a sponge every day around here, even if it's to the, other people in the athletic department, just really what it is with that. But also too, um, you know, when I came in here as a GA, I thought I knew football. Well, you don't know till you really know. So really just I learn something every day. And I think that's just the work mentality I have. And I'm going to keep doing that as long as I'm in this profession.
Yeah, you don't know what you don't know until you know.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. No question. No
Yeah.
question. So, and just be a willing learner, be a willing listener and want to learn something new every day and just keep the mojo going and keep everything moving forward.
Oh, yeah. Awesome, coach. Well, thank you again. Greatly appreciate you being on, and best of luck as you guys continue with recruiting.
Hey, thanks, Justin. Appreciate it.